This is a movie a lot of people may never have heard of. It wasn't particularly popular when it came out and never really spread much. I don't think it was ever shown in theaters. At least if it was, I never heard about it. It was one of those home videos that people would find at discount stores or thrift shops, and it's not really hard to see why. There is no big grand story, and while the animation is pretty good for what it is, it's not anything wildly impressive for the time. More the kind of results you'd see in things that would be shown in Sunday schools. Annabelle's Wish follows the story of a calf on a small, run-down farm. Like many farms in animation, they never actually show where the money to keep the farm afloat comes from. No one really does anything. Most of the animals are either older and don't work the way they used to, like Scarlet the horse, or they're animals that would be raised and processed for meat, hide, or at least milked or having their eggs collected, but that never seems to happen. They're basically all pets. She's born on Christmas and has a bow tied on her to mark her as a gift for the farmer's grandson, Billy. Apparently, when he comes, Santa gives all of the animals the ability to speak for one day. The rest of the time, they're just making sounds, which it seems like they can understand each other. They're just not speaking in a way that humans can understand. Which, if they aren't allowed to speak to humans anyway, why do they even want the ability to talk the way humans do? They seem to understand each other just fine while making their own sounds. The ability to talk like humans only lets them communicate with Santa, who I'm pretty sure could understand them either way, or with the humans they're not allowed to talk to. We find out that Billy, the grandson, is terrified of the barn because of a fire that happened a while back. While his grandfather was able to save him from the fire, apparently his parents were lost to it, or at the very least his mother. His dad isn't in the picture, so either he died too or he just wasn't around. And Billy lost his ability to speak, somehow. Presumably smoke inhalation. Evidently, sign language isn't a thing around here, or writing things down, because no one but the little neighbor girl seems to even try to communicate with Billy. Billy is scared to go anywhere near the barn, which is somehow surprisingly intact despite the fire that was enough to kill people. I would think that the remains would have been torn down, and the farm seems to have quite a bit of land, so rebuilding it elsewhere with a slightly different design would probably be ideal for trying to mitigate the trauma associated with it, but the farmer mostly just seems to patch it up every now and then instead. On Christmas morning, he's so excited for his gift, Annabelle herself, that he doesn't even realize when he follows her into the barn. He gets scared, but dust from some old hay makes him sneeze, causing Annabelle to say, "Bless you," revealing the fact that the animals can talk. The other animals calm down after realizing that Billy won't tell anyone because, well, he can't. We also meet Billy's best friend, a young girl named Emily, and the neighbors, a bullying pair of boys and their angry brute of a dad who doesn't rein in his sons. There's also Billy's Aunt Agnes, who wants to take Billy to live in the city with her because she sees him as an accessory, like an upscale purse. She's rich and has one of those scummy lawyers who we never actually see Dr. Claw style, who tries to find a loophole to get her custody of Billy despite the fact that she said she didn't want him when his parents first died. Over the year, Emily, Billy, and Annabelle grow a close friendship. They're sledding one day when they accidentally crash into the bully neighbor's fence and break part of it. The bully kids were about to go after them, but their dad arrives and takes charge of the situation, noticing Annabelle. Ears, the farm dog, starts growling when he gets too close, and it's enough for him to send them all back home, but he does go to talk to the sheriff and the farmer. Since the farmer doesn't have the money to pay for the damaged fence, they end up taking Annabelle as payment instead, breaking Billy's heart. He's so upset by this that the farmer gives up the one thing of value he has, a music box that belonged to his daughter, to pay to get Annabelle back. When Christmas rolls around, Agnes shows up with a bunch of legal paperwork stating that Billy will be released to her custody because the farm isn't safe for someone who can't speak. Which, well, it does make some sense. He can't call out for help, and it doesn't seem like most people make an effort to be able to communicate with him. So unless Billy is able to talk again, she's going to take him away. In order to buy time, the farm animals drag Agnes's car to the pond and sink it into the water, since all the towing companies are closed on Christmas. They can't call anyone out to get her car out until after Christmas, meaning that Billy and his grandfather will get at least that one last holiday together. Bad news, Agnes. Just pulling the car out of the water isn't going to be anywhere near enough to get it running again. Not to mention how long it would take to get the upholstery dry. You're kinda screwed. That night, when Santa shows up, Annabelle asks him for her own special wish. Up until this point, her big wish has been to fly. She wants to be able to fly like Santa's reindeer, after seeing them just after she was born. She's tried many times, but obviously can't because, well, she's a cow. She whispers her wish in his ear, with Santa responding that it's a big wish and asking if she's really sure, to which she responds she is. The next morning, Billy finds a small box on the tree. He opens it and there seems to be nothing inside, with just a few sparkles falling from it and onto him, with him saying, "There's nothing in here," and realizing that he just talked. He and his grandfather celebrate, with his grandfather tearing up the custody papers Agnes brought. Since Billy is able to talk, Agnes has no grounds to take him away anymore. Billy runs to tell Annabelle and finds that she can't talk, though the other animals can. Annabelle's mother explains that Annabelle didn't wish to fly. She wished to hear him talk and gave Billy her Christmas voice. The bullies and their dad come over, with their dad having had a change of heart after a talk with the kind sheriff, getting the music box back and giving it to the farmer. He meets Agnes and is clearly very taken with her, and she's quite flattered at the attention he gives her. She invites them to join everyone for a Christmas dinner, finding out that the farmer has no wife, his wife having passed long ago, and she starts smothering his boys with rather cringy affection, with the clear implication that she ended up marrying their dad so she could use his sons as her holiday accessories. I wonder how that worked out for them all. She's clearly wealthy, and I could see that being a benefit to him and his farm, but she also hates anything and everything remotely dirty or related to animals and would probably try to dress up his sons like dolls. But according to the narration, things worked out well enough. Who knows, maybe she mixed farm and glam Dolly Parton style once she got used to the smell of the cow fields. We get a time skip to when Billy is all grown up, presumably at least 10 years later. His grandfather is nowhere to be seen, and he's apparently married Emily, and they're now living at the farm. Annabelle is old now, and wanders off early Christmas morning, presumably going off to die. She trips on some tree roots and ends up on what is either a large patch of ice or a frozen pond, unable to stand. Billy runs out to find her, clearly thinking that this is the end, when they hear bells. Santa shows up, helping Annabelle stand up again, though her legs are very shaky and she's just barely managing it. He uses some of his magic and turns her into a reindeer, giving her a voice again and restoring her health. Presumably his reindeer are immortal. She gets into harness with the rest of the team and bids Billy farewell and Merry Christmas as she flies away with them, finally getting her original wish after seeing to it that everything turned out all right for Billy, and Billy getting to be happy that Annabelle got her wish and is probably going to live forever now, so he doesn't have to deal with the pain of losing her. Fun fact, female reindeers are in fact the only ones that keep their antlers throughout the winter. At least the pregnant ones do. So, for his reindeer to have antlers throughout the winter, his team are female. So them showing Annabelle as a female reindeer with antlers is scientifically accurate. It's a cute movie, though some of the choices they make are a little strange. I mean, there's a shot in a song sequence that's just a close-up of Annabelle chewing in slow-mo. It doesn't exactly fit the song and is just kinda weird. The music is fairly decent, especially the one big song which is sung country style. The animation is pretty good, and the designs, while nothing remarkable, are friendly and tell you a lot about the character, enough for you to get a good idea of what they're like before a single word is spoken. I really don't care much for stories where a character has a disability and instead of finding a workaround or a way to live with that disability, it just ends up being magically fixed for them. But I get why they played it that way here. It wouldn't really work for the story if they just brought in a sign language teacher or Santa gave Billy a pen and a notepad. Overall, it's not great, and it's not exactly on my yearly holiday watch list or anything, but it's a nice enough movie to show to younger kids if they need something to watch and have already seen Klaus 50 times. It doesn't have some huge story or spectacular visuals, it's just a simple little tale of a boy and his best friend who happens to be a cow, and there's really nothing wrong with that for someone who just wants something to put on for the kids while they have some cocoa. Thank you all for joining me. Whatever you celebrate, if you celebrate anything at all, remember to be kind to everyone around you, especially those who may be having a particularly hard time. Retail workers, people who are in tough situations and maybe can't celebrate with their loved ones for whatever reason, or who are dealing with harsh reminders at this time of year. Just be kind in general. You never know what someone may be dealing with. Be safe, stay warm, and I'll see you in the next one.